The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
And good afternoon, or good morning, whatever the case may be for you. It's what is about 1:30 here Eastern Time. I'm Mike Dell, and we're going to go through the pre-roll, ad insertion, and then we'll demo the mid and post-roll ad insertion. And then we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. Mackenzie, do you have anything you need to say? Whoops, I don't know if Mackenzie is back on as a presenter or not. Oh, there she is. All right, very good. So let's get rolling here. Of course, you can read about it here on blubrry.com. We have a product page here all about what that's all about. But the basic gist of it is you're going to publish your podcast exactly the way you do normally when you're hosting at Blubrry. Of course, this is for pro hosting customers. If you're not a pro hosting customer, get a hold of us and we can tell you about upgrading. But the pre-roll is going to be free with the pro account. And what that allows you to do is to have a pre-roll ad that you can change out whenever you want to, or you can have it run for a set period of time. And the way you get to that is in your dashboard. And it really doesn't matter what show, so a lot of you pro customers have multiple shows. When you get into the dynamic ad insertion system, you select your show by campaign. So you could actually have the same pre-roll run across your entire, stable of shows. It allows you to go back, I believe, 50 episodes if you want, and replace or add to your show pre-roll. So basically, it works on campaigns. To start a new campaign, you click the big plus sign there, and you put in, let's see, pre-roll test. Yeah, that's real. That's really hard to think up a name like that, huh? All right, so we pick a date to start. It has to be at least today, which you can actually pick that in the future. You need to pick a stop date, and I will clarify with the dev team whether or not we could have that be indefinite. But for right now, pick a stop date for the campaign. Priority, I don't see any reason why you would change that from priority 10. So, by the way, is everybody seeing everything? Throw a question up in there if the audio is bad or you're not seeing everything. I always forget to ask that when I do webinars, and sometimes I can go a while before anybody tells me something's wrong. So anyway, don't change the priority. No need to. And then just save that campaign. And then for the pre-roll ad, first we got to select a program. So in my case, I have a few programs to select from, only really a couple. So we're going to do it on that one. And that's all we got to do. Then go back. So now it's on Mike Dell's World, which is the one podcast that I'm going to do this on. And advertisements, we don't have any advertisements uploaded. What that is your MP3s. So you can title this is the pre-roll one. And okay, so that's just the name of it. And then you select the file. There we go. Like I said, I've only done this a few times myself. There's my pre-roll MP3. Hit that, hit upload. And when it's done uploading, it'll tell us that. Tells us how long. There it gives you the ad ID, tells you how that it's in there. Then go back. So we've got that all set up. And then we need to pick what episodes we're going to put it in. So you can put it in, any of the last 50 or so episodes. I'm just going to put it in the last one. And I'm going to update the queue. and go back, and I'm going to start the campaign. It just asks you if you want to rebuild that file. If you'd have picked multiple files, there would be multiple files there. Apply changes. You can see it's queued up. This takes a little while. Could be 5, 10, 15 minutes, something like that for the media to be queued. So come back here, hit update queue. No update needed yet. And then you clear this cache and the new version of the file should start playing. And then you can go back and view your campaigns. You can see that one is now active. And that's really all there is to it. When you're ready to change the ad, you can just go ahead and edit this. Actually, I think what you do is you just add another one. There you go. So add another one, and then you can switch it out in the campaign. But that's how you would switch it. A lot of times you just want to stop that campaign and then start the next one. So anybody have any questions? Go ahead and hit the question button there. You see Jeff is there. Hi, Jeff. But if you have any questions about the pre-roll, that way we can. I don't see any questions yet. So, Mackenzie, did you have any questions since you're on mic?
At the moment, I do not have any questions. Pre-roll is pretty simple, simply because you're not really going to have any timing things that you're going to have to figure out. So that one's
right.
pretty cut and dry.
I think I'm having a tech issue here. Somebody raised their hand and I clicked on it and it went away. So I have no idea who that was. So do that again. And that way I can unmute you and you can ask your question. There we go. There's one of the questions. So that's Lynn and then Dan, of course. Yeah, read the question here. So the ad comes at the very beginning of the podcast. Yeah, before the actual file that you uploaded starts playing, your ad will start playing. One tip, by the way, that I didn't mention is that you should match the bit rate and the sample rate of your MP3 file. Also, if it's stereo or mono, the ad should match what your podcast media is. What is the priority feature for it? Dan, I think that you can have multiple campaigns going at once, and I think the priority just sets in which priority does the rebuilds happen. I will get with our developer who's working on this and find out for sure, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just if you have multiple going on at the same time, more so for like full ad insertion.
Right. That's for the when we'll show you the differences between the full version of ad insertion and this pre-roll version. And let's see, is there to add it to the option? Yeah, yes, you can have a post-roll ad, but that is going to be on the second tier of this ad insertion, the full ad insertions. Mm-hmm. You're going to be able to put mid-roll ads, post-roll ads, pre-roll ads in there, and multiple pre-rolls, multiple post-rolls, and so on. So, but that's on the full version. Is there a recommended length of time for ads? No, just like anything else. But think about how you listen to radio or watch TV or listen to podcasts. Do you want a 3-minute ad? Probably not. So that's all more marketing thing, and with the advertisers. This is just the technical way to get them in your show.
Yeah, a lot of the time that's going to be up to you or dictated by the agency managing the deal that you have. So there's no real good answer to that.
Right. So anyway, any other questions? Go ahead and shoot them up here. Otherwise, we'll press on and show you the full version with the mid and post roll, which is surprisingly not that much different.
Yeah. I'd say ready to move on.
All right. So go back to your podcaster dashboard. It'll look the same, obviously, because you're going to go to the same menu. So go back to dynamic ad insertion. We've got this pre-roll campaign here. So now we've been upgraded to version 2, or the full version. I don't know what the actual marketing term for that's going to be. Internally, we call it tier 2. But anyway, so we're going to
Full ad insertion
yeah, full
is
ad.
what it will be.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. Let's see. I'm the tech guy. Anyway, so you just add another campaign, and let's see. We're gonna go mid and post, and we'll go ahead and just pick today to start it, and 18th. Oh, I gotta hit the OK button. See, I'm not used to this interface yet. All right, there we go. So we got that, and so far it looks all the same. And so what we're going to do here is, let me make sure I did that right. I think I did. All right, so we're going to use my other program for this one. So we'll do that, go back. Then the ads, you'll notice there's this pull down here. Now that pull down was probably there before, but you won't have that option if you're just on pre-roll. But look, we have mid-rolls, up to 10 of them, a post-roll, and a pre-roll. And you can add more than one pre-roll, in the advertisement. So let's just, we'll add a pre-roll. So we'll just call this pre, and hit save. And I'm going to select a file. We'll just go ahead and upload that same file we uploaded before. Upload. And there's no progress indicator here, but that uploads pretty quick.
I mean, it's not very long, so it shouldn't take very long.
Yeah, you shouldn't have these giant files in there. If you do, something's going wrong. So, all right, then we're just going to add another ad. And we're going to call that mid-roll 1. And we're going to go mid-1. These creative names are just killing me. So mid-1, look at that. File name's even creative. And we can, continue to do that. I guess we'll just do one more. And you'll notice there is the post roll. So let's do a post roll. We'll just do a mid, pre, and post. But you can add multiple mids, as you can see here. And there's a way we have to tag the MP3 file to make make those mid rolls go in the right spot. And so I'll show you that here in a minute. So we're going to call that post. Oops, too many S's. And save. And I'm going to select one of my mid files, but it's okay. It doesn't matter what the file name is. Nobody's going to see that. All right, and that's it. So we've got our mid, our post, and our pre for this campaign. We're going to manage the campaign. It's going on Podcast Help Desk. Going to manage the media. I just want to pick that last one. And date queue, date successful, and it will, start to rebuild that file. It's in queue. And
yeah, and rebuild essentially means that we're creating
right now
a new file with all of those put together.
Right now, that file that I just am rebuilding doesn't have the tags in it, so that mid-roll ad will not work, which is fine. It'll just leave it out. So the pre and post will work on that one, and then a new file that I upload will have that tag in it the way I need it to have it for the mid-roll. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open this MP3. In my case, I'm using a Macintosh. There's a program called Tag Editor Free is one I recommend, but you can use any ID3 tag editor to edit the tags, but it has to have the comment field. So right here, this comment field. And the problem with using iTunes, the desktop software, is A, it's going away, and B, it doesn't have the comment field. So pretty much any other ID3 tag editor will have that comment field. So let's pretend that I actually uploaded or I have 2 mid rolls instead of just one, because I want to show you how to do that. This is very, very, very particular. So you go mid 1 in the comment field, then a space, and then you do the time hack. And let's see, so we're going to do it 5 minutes and 12 seconds was the spot I want that mid 1 ad to build in my file. And then if I say I have another one at 10 minutes and 8 seconds, then I've got to do a comma, a space, and then start over with a 00 for the hours. And 10, what did I say? 10:08. 10:08. Oops, but I got to put space mid 2. So just say if I had a mid 2, which I didn't in this campaign, but future proof it. So if you do have spots that are good, you could put mid 1 through 10 in this comments field, and then later on go back and inject ads into that position if you want to. And otherwise, it just leaves the file alone and nothing changes. So that's how you would write the tag, and then save it. Okay, so that's actually in the ID3 tags now. So there's a mid position at 5 minutes 12 seconds and a mid position at 10:08, and that adjusts. So if my mid roll is 30 seconds, it's going to bump these 30 seconds automatically when it builds the file. So it will end up in the right spot. And really, that's it. Hit start campaign. It'll rebuild this one with a pre and post, and then it'll in the next file I upload that has those tags in it, it will actually put in the mid-roll 1, since I uploaded a mid-roll 1. And if I add a mid-roll 2, it'll rebuild it again and put in the mid-roll 2. So anyway, that's the advanced one, or the full, what'd you call it, Mackenzie? Full ad insertion.
Full ad insertion.
Yeah, I should really know these marketing terms, shouldn't I?
So just a reminder, the simple pre-roll ad insertion is available right now for any pro customer to use. And we are looking for people to test the full ad insertion. So if you're a Blubrry professional customer at the moment and interested in beta testing this, and when we say beta testing, we mean, kind of kick the crap out of it, make sure it's working as it should be. Let us know if there's anything that we can do with the design to make it easier to use or anything like that, any type of functionality or, issues, bugs that come up where we want to know about them. So if you were interested in beta testing, just email myself and Mike.
Right, just support at blubrry.com works, or Mackenzie or Mike at blubrry.com. Okay, so I got some other questions here. David asked who can do pre-rolls. That is our pro hosting customer, and yes, that is the more expensive professional hosting subscription. And then let's see. Yeah, for mid-roll ads, how do you make sure that they're smoothly injected smoothly? Well, you just wait for a natural break. If you didn't record the file with an ejected ad in in mind when you recorded it and left a little, you don't want to leave a lot of space, because it's pretty it's pretty quick and does a really good job of injecting the ads right where you tell them to. But you just leave a natural break, or if you didn't edit that or record that file, just make sure you get that time hack right, and it will just put it in a natural break. It might still sound a little injected, depends on the ad,
And if you are planning to do ads like this on a regular basis, when you are recording the episode, you can try and factor in taking a break that way as well. So it's a little more natural, as opposed to once you're finally getting to editing the episode, trying to find something that works. It just kind of depends on your style of editing and of conversation recording.
Right. And David, no, when we use the term pro and professional, Those are interchangeable. It's our Blubrry professional hosting plan or pro hosting plan, same thing.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Can you have different insertion points for different episodes? Yes. Each file is tagged with the time for that file. So if mid
Mhm.
one, and you can even throw them out of order. You could have mid 3 run first, then mid 2, then mid 1. You can make it as confusing as you want to, and yeah, it doesn't matter where it is in each file. So episode 1 would have the ad at 5 minutes. Episode 2 will have it at 10 minutes or whatever you want. But it's by individual file. And let's see, do you tag those spots before you download the files? I guess I'm not understanding, Dan. Before you upload them, yes. But
Yes.
yeah, downloading them, like I said, sometimes people use upload and download interchangeably, so I'm assuming that's what you mean. So I don't see any other questions. Yep, that's what he said. Yes, Dan, you do the ID3 tags before you upload initially to Blubrry. One other
Yep.
thing, people love stats. You notice how simple my file names are here. Like Podcast Help Desk 112, and then the AU means something to me. But it's a nice, short, concise file name. The reason that is really good is with ad insertion, each rebuilt version of the ad gets a little bit of extra stuff at the end of the file name. The beginning of the file name will remain the same. So when you're looking at stats, you're going to have stats on the uninjected version. You're going to have stats on each injected version in your stats. So you can tell, okay, I injected this ad into this one and this ad into the other one. But that can get really confusing if you've rebuilt the same ad over and over and over again. You may have 10 listings for, in my case, PhD 122. I probably have 10 or so listings in our stats because I've tested it so many times. That thing's been rebuilt and beat up, I don't know how many times. And, so keeping your file names simpler is going to be a lot easier for you to keep track of. That's just my little tip. So, any other questions? Like, we'll get you out of here a little early. Okay, now
We also have
Oh, go ahead.
a a product page for this on our website where you can learn more about it, and it has documentation as well. And
Yeah.
so, especially if you're going to be testing this or taking a look to see if you would be interested in upgrading or anything like that, then I would definitely recommend taking a look at that on our site.
All right, and looks.
You can find that on the professional hosting page.
Yep, and you'll get a video of this little demo here too, probably tomorrow sometime. I'm guessing. It's going to take that long for it to render and me get it to a point where it can be sent back out. So, no other questions. Oh, here we go. I do actually have one more question from Lynn. With the short file names, is a way to write a description in the event you want to go back later and reuse. Well, the thing is with a description, your file name isn't a good place for a description. I know that that does sound weird to people, but the longer the file name is, it can cause problems in other ways with podcasting, not necessarily ad injection. But so in the tag, so when I go into that tag editor, let me go ahead and do that again. In that tag editor, what you can do is there's other tags that you can add. I forget what it's called. There's one that's called lyrics, I think. You'll have to fiddle around with it, but you could actually put your description in there. But what I like to do is I just like to have a number, and then I know in my I keep track in a different way. I know that that episode 122 is the episode I did about whatever it is I did it about. I don't know. I'm not looking at my database, but you know what I mean. So, just keeping the file names shorter is easier all the way around, and it definitely makes stats less confusing. I know with this, you're going to have multiple versions of the file, which we track each one of them. So it's easier if it stays shorter. So all right, with that, please let us know if you want to test the full ad insertion. Email Mackenzie and I, and we can turn you on, let you play with it for a little bit before we start charging for it. And if you want to be a pro hosting customer, Mackenzie's the one you need to talk to.
Mm-hmm. You can use the contact form or just email Mackenzie@blubrry.com.
All right, well, we'll get you guys out of here, and we'll get this video rendered and up for those that didn't show up. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.